Phenomena. 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 Muppets.
Do you remember beards?
I do, like a little smiley face biscuit on it. Chocolate.
We will play semi-final versus Schalke. They are very nice in defense and strong because they have a really taller defender. So we will try to do our game and play faster, a lot of touch of the ball, and try to perform the defense. And that's it. We train a lot, and so we will try to do our best for the rest of the competition.
It's now like a final because Juventus is for us the best team in the league. We have so great players with Lo Scandalo, Luca and Etorito. It's a great team, and yeah, we're excited to play against them. We want to go to the final.
So, Harry Shannon, we have our first semi-final of eFootball.Pro IQONIQ. The knockout stages started earlier today, but they are entering a critical stage right now. Juventus, of course, will fancy their chances against anyone, but crucially, Harry, they haven't kicked a ball yet. Will that be a disadvantage against a team who have had a potential warm-up in Schalke 04?
Well, Schalke will fancy that advantage for themselves. It's certainly always good to hit the ground running on a day like today, especially in a knockout competition where you know all you've got to do is beat the team in front of you and you will advance. This is such a high-stakes game that you take any psychological, personal, motivational factor, you'll take any advantage you can get, and I think Schalke will certainly be relishing that. However, must be said, Juventus, very much a different task ahead of Schalke than Barcelona. Barcelona, we knew they were a bit Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde this season. Very up and down, very inconsistent. Juventus, we heard from Merriman just there. He thinks they're the best team in the league, so they're really going to have to prove all the doubters wrong here if they want to upset Juventus and move on to the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ final.
Well, Juventus did finish the regular season top of the tree, and worrying for the rest of the opposition. They came to the boil just at the right time. It was the first time they actually led the table in the final match day. So potentially they could be gearing themselves for their top form right at the death when it is needed most. But they are up against a very strong Schalke 04 outfit, a possible dark horse favourite for many, as the ball gets whipped up towards the halfway line. Remember, the same rule applies in the semi-finals to the quarter-finals. We have two games where an aggregate score will decide who goes through, and Juventus have given themselves the perfect start. Juventus 1, Schalke 0. And it's the first shot in anger.
Well, it's Lo Scandalo, who for me was one of the big keys to victory for Juventus here in the knockout stages. Get him firing early, and you have a real opportunity. I think it's Il Distratore who slides it through for Lo Scandalo's 17th goal of the season. He was in the top three in the running for the Golden Boot. And, well, it's a dream start for him.
Well, chance for an instant response. It's a huge opportunity for Roma. And he's half-volleyed it towards goal, pushed away by the goalkeeper. And will they get a better opportunity than that as confirmation comes in of Lo Scandalo's opener? We did say, would Juventus be caught cold by the fact they haven't played today yet? The answer was a A definite no, but they almost got caught cold straight from the restart.
Well, when these two matched up in the regular season, it was quite recent, actually. It was back on match day 8, where Schalke won the first game 1-0, but then Juve bounced back, won the second 3-1. So they shared the points on that day, but it's not about points anymore. It's just about the aggregate score across the two games. So important to keep your heads here if you're Schalke. Yes, you've conceded early. Yes, Lo Scandalo is continuing his fine goal-scoring form, but you're not out of it just yet.
It's just the equivalent almost of a huge 180-minute match.
Exactly.
Where the number of goals is crucial for the victory. It doesn't matter whether you lose the first game, win it or draw it, as long as at the end of the two games collectively, you have more goals than your opposition, Harry. Simple as that.
That is how football works.
Sometimes, depending on the competition. The glory days of the golden goal rule would beg to differ on that one, but hey.
Oh, wonderful. We saw it back last summer, of course, in the Euros. I think Romania taking out Germany with a golden goal in the, I think it was the opening 5 minutes of the golden goal period, actually. Funnily enough, that day, I think it was Roma versus Merriman. And now they're on the same team here for Schalke in the knockout stages, semi-finals in the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ. Sometimes our commentary makes sense.
And often it's the opposite. But anyway, we digress as the ball gets played up towards the edge of the area. Chance for Bentaleb, plays it through. The header from Merriman is, well, non-existent. There was no purchase made, and he leaves the shop empty-handed.
I'll tell you what, I haven't seen too much in an attacking sense from Juventus since they scored the goal. It's been mostly Schalke chasing for an equaliser. And I'll tell you what, they've not come too far away a couple of times now. Juventus will have to keep an eye on that at the back, but half an hour gone, they're in the lead, which is exactly what they wanted.
And Schalke have got to be careful, because usually Juventus are so clinical on the counter-attack, and they've got another chance. He's turned it home, but surely he was in an offside position.
Even they're confused.
Wieder Fehlpass. Schön, danke für Konter.
Wasn't sure who scored it in the end. I think it was Lo Scandalo who turned it home from an Etorito assist. We'll see it here again in a second. Oh, I'm not sure he got a touch, did he?
He's gone off celebrating the goal. But if he's got a touch on the ball, he's beyond the goalkeeper.
Is it played backwards, maybe?
Anyway, crucially, the goal has been given, and Juventus take a 2-0 lead.
You can see from the reactions.
Circumstances.
From the reactions, Lo Scandalo was scratching his back, thinking he was the guilty party there. But I'm wondering if the ball actually was played backwards. I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look at that one again. But wow, Juventus will take it and run.
Well, I did say moments earlier I didn't want to blow my own trumpet today, but I have to say, I did say that Juventus are absolutely clinical on the counter-attack. And the first chance they had, they doubled their lead. And Schalke now are facing a similar proposition that they gave Barcelona in their match. Tough uphill task for the Germans. But they've responded again. And they've hit the post. Schalke desperately unfortunate not to pull a goal back. The left foot shot under the goalkeeper and comes flying back off the post. You cannot get closer.
Not giving this up, Schalke. They're winning the second ball more often than not, and they're coming forward again. Good to see them not roll over and give this game up. As you said, still another leg to be played after this, and we're still only in the first half, but Schalke need to keep this type of mentality up. And most importantly, make sure you score the next goal.
And most importantly, don't concede a third at the first point of call, because Juventus are in again here. Good defending this time. I'm not quite sure how Juventus are 2-0 up at this moment in time, because I'd have to say on the balance of play, Schalke bossed large parts of that first half.
Yeah, they really did. El Matador especially having a great game, but we'll see what the reaction's like here in the second half. You question the mentality of a lot of these clubs. I would say Schalke probably have the best mentality out of maybe all of the eFootball.Pro Iconic clubs. When you speak to Merriman, how he approaches the game, every game starts at 0-0, and they're going for it off the kickoff here.
Schalke will not be fazed by what happened in that first half. They will continue with the same game plan, very direct play. The worrying thing about it is that they didn't really offer Juventus too many chances in that first half, yet they find themselves 2-0 down. Chance for Schalke on the turn, left foot shot, wide of the target.
How many of these chances are Schalke going to spurn here? Merriman this time at the near post. I think Szczesny would have had it covered anyway. But one of these needs to find the back of the net, Schalke. Otherwise, Juventus, as you said, so clinical on the counter. Offside that time around, but next time they're in, I'd be surprised to see the net bulge. So, got to keep the concentration levels so high at both ends of the pitch here.
Good challenge coming in again. Juventus in search of a third goal, which might just about wrap this tie up. Because if they were to take a 3-0 lead into that second game, it'll be tough to see Schalke getting 3 and not conceding. Schalke, on the other hand, know that a goal now brings them right back into the game. They'll be more than happy, you would imagine, going into that second game 2-1 down.
Absolutely, but again, it's about the more these passes are loose and the more these chances get spurned. Not to lose your head here, as they've given away a cheap corner with that clearance. You just got to keep the belief here, keep the mentality. You're still in the game. But Juventus, they'll be looking at it again. Put the game on ice. Kill off the game before the second.
Il Distratore turn around the corner looking for La Scandalo, who has the 2 goals to his name today. Oh! And it's come back off Luca Tibelli. Smashed into the underside of the crossbar off the goalkeeper. And just like that, Schalke find themselves 3-0 down. 2 of the goals just very unorthodox.
Look away, Schalke fans, because this is a very cheap goal indeed. I don't think Merriman realised how quickly Il Distratore was closing him down using Paulo Dybala, and that is why you chase down every loose ball. And now that makes the job so much more difficult for Schalke, because now you need a goal before the second leg.
You could say that's incredibly unlucky, or a terrible defensive mistake from Schalke, but as you said, hats off to Juventus. That was brilliant tracking there, hassling the goalkeeper, forcing the mistake. Great play, tenacity from Il Distratore. And Juventus find themselves 3-0 up, and they've barely clicked into gear today. That is a worrying sign, Harry.
It's a worrying sign indeed. As I said before, though, Schalke, a goal before the second leg gives you hope, gives you something to cling to. After 2 real clangers conceded here in the semi-finals. And again, for Juventus, the job is very much the same. Keep it steady at the back. Try and get more goals to really kill off the tie before the second game even comes into play here.
Down the right-hand side, a chance for Schalke to pull a goal back. Another smart stop from the goalkeeper.
Schalke playing some nice stuff here. They really are. Such a great pullback to find Roma, who unfortunately sticks it straight at the keeper. I think this will be a corner to come, will it? No, just a goal kick. Not sure why we saw a replay of that in the Stadium Director. That was a bit of a weird one, but now the changes come. And what do you do if you're Schalke? Apparently nothing. The objective remains the same for both teams. Juventus definitely the happier though.
Lovely ball through, looking for El Matador. A goal now might make things very interesting. What a finish from Roma. A bolt from the blue. Game on.
Nein, bleib so. Also komm,
Well, this is a piece of brilliance from the Romanian here, because you'll see once he gets the ball, he has a shot queued up, cancels it at the last second to get a more appealing angle onto the goal. And as you say, game on now, because you have a chance maybe at getting a second back, which not only puts the doubt in Juventus's minds, but compounds that belief that you can do it here. You can come back and you can get it done here in the semi-final.
Genius from Roma. The audacity, the quality of that finish. And we said time and time again what an acquisition that has been from Schalke this year. And on the biggest stage, he might just have drawn an extra bit of life into the charge for a final spot for Schalke. If they could get a second here, he could really turn things on. El Matador just couldn't quite get on the end of that pass.
Made a good run though. Juve looking like they're on the ropes here.
But they're really being tested now, and like I said before, they were 3-0 up, but they barely got out of first gear. Ronaldo down the left-hand side, controlled by Etorito, the captain, but great challenge again. The referee, I think, is given a free kick to Schalke, but he could have played advantage, I think. Good flick on. Merriman. Back to him again. Now he feeds El Matador. 8 minutes remaining here in this first game. How Schalke would love a second.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them try and compound the box from the throw-in.
Oh, it's another chance across the face.
Oh,
He was
weiter,
built
so
in.
musst
It's
du
El
spielen,
Matador.
Junge. Genau so.
And it's Juventus 3,
Ist schon eine
Schalke 2.
weiter, Mann. Spielt Ures auch nicht mehr.
What drama right at the death. Juventus can't believe what they're seeing. But Schalke have had their fair share of bad luck as well today. It's been a kamikaze performance all round.
And that'll be seen as karma. Great veteranship shown by El Matador. Coming through, just following the ball into the goal, just in case the goalkeeper slips up and makes a mistake like that. Like all good strikers do, from 3-0 down to 3-2. Again, Schalke, a team, a club, just built for knockout football. Proving it here again with the tenacity and the mentality to come back. Juventus, I mean, when was the last chance that we saw from them from open play? They've been smothered at the back and at the front by Schalke here in the second half.
Brilliant performance from Schalke in this second half after a really disappointing opening 55, 60 minutes, you'd have to say, to find themselves 3-0 down. They've now surely managed to smuggle their way into the second game. It could even be 3-3. Oh, the offside flag on El Matador was inches away from being allowed. It would surely have been 3-3. But nevertheless, take nothing away from Schalke in this second half to get back to within 1 goal. From a mentality point of view, Juventus now were home and hosed at 3-0. Already maybe had 1 foot in the final. But this game is well and truly on, Harry.
It is indeed. Good foul by Etorito as well. Just to, again, signal the end of the game, make sure there isn't a counter to be had. And they'll feel aggrieved. You can hear it from Etorito.
Remember to show the stats, guys.
It's like a teacher scolding his naughty school children
Ja, gut laufen, Alter.
after letting the 3-goal lead slip. But these boys will be over the moon. They've just thrown themselves a life preserver over the side of the raft. And yes, Juve take an aggregate lead into game 2. But Schalke, they're the ones that hold the belief here.
I mean, where do we start with those goals, Harry? We probably had 2 of 5 that were worthy of congratulations. The rest of them were a real mixed bag.
They really were. I think the one that you and I are both looking forward to is that Lo Scandalo goal. I think it was the second one, wasn't it? Where, I mean, you and I were both bemused. Straight from the kickoff, Schalke had a chance. Etorito with the manual save there. But we wanted to see exactly what happened with the Juve, the second
when the shot
goal.
was made, I think it was Cristiano Ronaldo who was on the line. He was behind the goalkeeper. He surely was in front of the fellow Juventus teammate here.
It's here. Here we go. Oh, that's a strange one.
I
to
mean,
me.
Sometimes it's not in your hands to make these decisions. And on the balance of play, it probably could have been a goal anyway. But nevertheless,
Let's be
it
honest.
didn't really seem to cause Schalke too many problems because they went 3-0 down and still managed to get back to 3-2. And to be fair, this goal was fortunate for Juventus as well, but good tracking down, of course. And Schalke's second goal was, you'd have to say, slightly fortunate as well. So maybe we're... maybe it was just one of those days at the office, Harry, where strange things happen on a football pitch.
Absolutely. We'll tack it down to that. And don't forget, I mean, regardless, it was probably going to be a goal, whether it was tapped home or not. But credit to Distrattore doing so well, chasing down and not giving anything up. We saw the same from El Matador, of course, for Schalke's second. He followed the ball all the way through. This was the Irma goal.
That was the moment of magic for me.
Really technically sound from Irma. When El Matador is able to
Dummy shot.
lose the ball, but it's the fact he had a shot queued up and then dummies it last second. Everyone thinks he's going for goal. He spots the gap that gives Schalke the little bit of hope, the light at the end of the tunnel, and then the second
poor
of their
goalkeeping,
two.
you'd have to say.
He's got to gather it up, and El Matador just rolling the dice, and is fortunate that time, but it could have been 3-3. Just needs to hold his run. You know the defender's going to step up there, and he knows El Matador. He went just slightly too early. You know the pass is coming. You know you have plenty of space. There's no need to go too early there. But instead, it's 3-2, and what an interesting game we have to come here in game 2 of the semi-final.
And to anyone just joining us now, that basically means that this second game, Juventus have a 1-goal advantage going in. Away goals don't count. So if Schalke were to score 1 in this game, it would be even. We would go to a third 5-minute match and possibly penalties if it was still level after that. So it's almost like it's 1-0 going into this game. It'll say 3-2 on the aggregate scoreline. That is to try and make it easier. I've probably made it more confusing, I would have to say. Just go with the on-screen score. It's 3-2 to Juventus, and we continue with another 90 minutes. That's probably easier, isn't it, Harry?
Probably easier, yeah. But here's the look at the bracket. They're fighting for a chance at that trophy on the right-hand side of your screen. And it's not over yet by any means. And of course, the loser of this semi-final would still have another game to play in the third place match, going for that bronze medal and a little bit of extra prize money as well, I believe. So certainly not all doom and gloom if you do lose the semi-final. Yes, you can't be crowned the champions, but you do get an extra 10,000 euros for winning that third place match. So it's certainly not, an extra 2,500 euros. So it's, again, there's still stuff to play for in that third place match, which makes it so interesting. But they won't be thinking about that now. They'll be thinking about this match and this game 2 of the semi-finals still to come.
Is good. Yeah, look, before I shoot in 1 meter, he can't score. That's what I say.
What incredible drama we have seen so far today. And we have much more to go. Second game between Schalke and Juventus in this first of the 2 semi-finals, followed by 2 matchups between AS Roma and AS Monaco for a place in the grand final of the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ knockout stage title.
For those who are watching, whether on the official PES channel or in the club's channels as well, there's not only the various campaigns you can take part in, but it's worth reminding you to stick around for that final, because it's an exciting 1 game, extra time and penalties to decide the champion. So forget about all this
penalties if it
score.
gets that far.
Forget all the aggregate score nonsense. In that grand finals, it's a 1-game shootout.
Yeah, the same for the 3rd and 4th place playoff as well. That will just be 1 match plus extra time and penalties if needed. And Schalke have started electric, but they've missed a chance inside the opening 2 minutes. It was a point-blank save from the goalkeeper either side, and it was surely 1-0 Schalke and 3-3 on aggregate, but they've missed it. And now Juventus come down the other end. They certainly wouldn't want to concede now. Ball over the top, looking for Ildistatore. Can't quite find Lo Scandalo. Harry, we should have had a goal inside the opening 2 minutes.
Yeah, we should have. Good clearance there from Irma just to force this corner. It's way better than conceding, of course. You still have to defend this, but you're right, Merriman up the other end in the opening 5 could have equalised it and made it well and truly game on.
In towards the near post, headed away. Got Bujaleb on the right-hand side. He's got Hop through the middle. He goes towards Hop. The pass to Bentaleb was a good one. Now Harriet joins the fray. But the pass from Merriman was a poor one, and Juventus clear their lines. And they've had the warning, Schalke. They don't want to repeat what happened in that first game with the ball ricocheting in off the underside of the crossbar from a chase down of the goalkeeper. But Schalke are back down the other end, and it ricochets all the way through to Szczesny.
Yeah, you're right. If there's a time to learn that lesson, it's probably not in the semi-final of the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ knockout stages, but at least you've learned that lesson now, and you know to clear the ball if it gets to the goalkeeper. But I'd hate to be a fly on the wall of the Juventus training room currently, because they'll feel like the momentum is well and truly in Schalke's favour. And Etorito, you know how much he demands of his teammates in co-op, whether it's 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3. It's going to be a high pressure communication channel right there.
Miles offside there, Cristiano Ronaldo. So we didn't really see too much of Juventus in that first game, even though they managed to score 3 goals. But it'll be interesting to see how they perform in this second game. It definitely felt like it was a feeding into the afternoon's work. Over the top of the wall, volleyed away. Schalke doing all of the early pressing again. Juventus appear to be happy to sit on the back foot and soak up the pressure with their 1-goal cushion. It's a dangerous game, though.
It's a very dangerous game indeed. You feel like for Etorito, we mentioned it a couple of times throughout the regular season, this is the one competition that seems to have eluded him so far. The eFootball.Pro IQONIQ trophy is one he'd love to add to his cabinet. And narrowly missed out on a couple of individual awards this year as well. Ended the season second in the assist table, second in the defence table as well. So he could have been a lot richer than he ended up, as Schalke almost find their way through. They're giving it a good go here, Schalke.
Corner to be taken on the near side here. Whipped in towards the near post, headed away. Oh, it's a chance to counter here for Juventus. It's 4-on-2 if they can get this right. Dybala gets it back, plays it through. He's got support on the left and right. He goes to the right-hand side. He's slightly behind the player that he wanted. I'm sure Cristiano Ronaldo would have preferred to have that straight away. And finally, Schalke get back in numbers to make the clearance. That was a chance, and they just didn't quite click into gear. Schalke now on the other side, going down towards the edge of the area. Chance for El Matador, plays it in, can't find Merriman. Little warning sign though for Schalke. Will they heed it? Juventus in again here. Oh, it's a lunge from the Schalke left back. And the referee's given a free kick. And surely, I was going to say, if he's given a free kick, it would have to therefore be a caution. As he looked to be away then.
A bit dangerous from Merriman, actually, excuse me. Just wanted to try and clear the ball, but also took a bit of the man, so denies the counter-attack.
Towards the back post, looking for Morata, wins the flick down. Still really yet to see any big moments in this match outside of the first 2 minutes when Schalke should really have taken the lead. A goal that would give them parity. They're in again here. Plays it back. Lovely play here. Irma! He's hit the post. Surely the rebound's there. He turns it home. And Schalke equalise. Brilliant play from Irma. Taking the game by the scruff of the neck. 2 games in a row. And the shouts from the team were tiki-taka, pass, pass, pass.
Well, this move was so unfortunate not to result in a goal. I'm almost happy for them. It has bounced right back into the path of the man who took the shot, actually, I think. It's Irma who takes the initial shot, and he's quickest to react as well, to make it 3-3 from 3-0 down. Schalke have come back. And it's almost like Etorito's given them the kiss of death here, because since that talking to, they seem to have fallen apart slightly. Haven't seen too much of them in an attacking sense. And Schalke, they look galvanised.
Well, now we see the real strength of character, or lack thereof, for Juventus if they aren't able to turn this around again. Because they've, as Harry said, gone from 3-0 up, and they've absolutely imploded back to 3-3. And with just 45 minutes of eFootball PES left, this game could go either way. It really could. Juventus have a throw. Etorito plays it in, hacked away from Roma for the first time in the match. Schalke now are level.
No shots from Juventus in that first half. No shots whatsoever. They've been shut out by Schalke. And if I'm Etorito, that is a number that is going to be burned into my brain should Schalke do what we thought would be the impossible at 3-0 down and complete the comeback and go on to win this semi-final. We know how much Etorito wants to win the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ this year, in any year. It's the jewel missing from his crown. If he were to go out in the semi-final against the 6th seeded Schalke, well, there would be a major inquest indeed.
So as things stand, we are headed for a 5-minute playoff match to decide proceedings, followed by penalties if it's still level. But Schalke are looking more and more likely to go and win this game. And one goal would do that if they're to keep it tight the other end. The ball in towards the back post. Turned home, surely. And it's the captain, Merriman.
Yes, okay, good.
From 3-0 down, they lead 4-3. The turnaround is complete in the most dramatic of circumstances.
And watch this ball from Roma. Absolutely pinpoint precision. Sees the two men over on the far post here. Look how far away he is from the box. Merriman's there to head it home. Unbelievable.
Looked like it came off his knee in the end. It was a real messy finish, but they will not care. As you said, the pass from Roma was breathtaking. And Juventus are shell-shocked.
They're just as shocked as we are. It's actually El Matador in the end who put the ball in the box, so let's not give the plaudits to Roma, because that was wonderfully spotted by El Matador. He's been so good today. Not only scoring goals, but setting up his team as well. But Juve aren't done yet.
Well, Juventus, instant response, surely. Blocked right on the 6-yard box. How important may that prove to be? Incredible defending from Schalke. Heart in your mouth moment right now. From 3-0 down to 4-3 and just 35 minutes in game from an eFootball.Pro IQONIQ final against a team who finished the regular season top of the tree. Remarkable. But are we just getting a little bit ahead of ourselves? Because Juventus still have, as we said, that amount of time to drag this back. All they need is one goal. They are more than capable. They've already scored 3 today. And one goal would take us to a playoff 5-minute match. The changes are being rung.
Yeah, not just personnel, but tactical as well. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen how quickly Etorito is flicking through his instructions, changing a few players. I believe Chiesa is coming on. I can't quite see who the other 2 substitutes are. I think it's Kulusevski. One of them's the counter target. Might even be Cristiano Ronaldo, actually. They try and work through here, but well, this is unbelievable. Still 30 in-game minutes for Juventus to try and come back. But let's listen to Schalke.
Wechselst du gleich nochmal, Dicker. Ja. Wir wechseln die? Oh, die wechseln beide Stürmer, ne? Oder? Roma, they run now.
Eh? Yeah, yeah.
Trying to run with Chiesa and Alejandro.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Was? Raus, gibst du rein? Noch zu früh, 60. erst, komm. No, after if you need, you change Bentaleb for a flick. And
Vielleicht ganz rausnehmen, Alter. Einen von den beiden. Gucken. Go, guys. Come on.
So the second half just has 30 minutes remaining. 7 goals we've seen over the 2 games so far. And 4 of those goals have come for one team. The last 4 for Schalke. What a remarkable turn of events.
El Matador is playing out of his mind right now. That's a great read. Just when Juventus look like they're putting an attack together, it's El Matador to just close the door and prevent them. He's been great today, El Matador.
In towards Etorito. They need a captain's performance from him, and they've got it, surely. Out of absolutely nothing. Juventus dragged themselves level outside of the right boot. Etorito says thank you very much, showing his undeniable quality.
Do not count out Etorito ever. This is it. We'll see. The Schalke defender comes across. It's Merriman. Was just hesitant, wasn't he, to go in for the tackle because the player he was controlling had been booked earlier on in the match, so couldn't do anything too clumsy. And it's 4-4.
Well, Harry, you may just get your penalty shootout dream. It's still on the table. The question is, do these teams settle for that? And the answer to that would probably be no. They both look like they're capable and happy to go and try and win this game. It would just therefore be a case of, can we get through 5 minutes without seeing a winner?
And I tell you what, regardless of result, it's been an incredible series of PES between these two clubs. They've left it all out there. We're in for an exciting final 20 in-game minutes.
Und dann tust du Bentaleb raus und bringst Skripski. Dann ist doch gut.
Weiß, ne?
Ja, warum nicht? Und halt zocken musst du
I mean, to a man as well, when you look at the 6 players at the bottom of your screen, there's not one of those who's gone missing today. Every single one of them has had a huge contribution in this matchup. So hats go off to 6 fantastic players, 2 incredible clubs, and 1 unbelievable game.
20 in-game minutes then to decide between these two which way it's going to go. You would argue the pendulum perhaps swinging in Juventus' favour, but never ever count out Schalke.
Juventus try and clear the lines. They fail to do so. And Schalke are in here. It's El Matador across the face, sliding in. Goalkeeper makes an easy claim in the end. And we are getting now into, well, what they like to call squeaky bum time, Harry. Because a goal now might just be the winner. And neither team will want to concede.
Into no next goal wins territory, which is why you're seeing some kind of rushed passes in that midfield area. It's all getting very
shaky
tense.
and cagey. And if I'm this nervous, Harry, imagine what's going through the players and the fans' heads right now as Chiesa picks it up on the left-hand side, controlled by Scandalo across the face, good block. But unfortunately for El Matador, he's conceded a corner when a throw-in might have been an easier option. And this could be a crucial moment. Juventus play it in towards the near post, turned on towards Ronaldo. It drops to the back post, left foot shot blocked.
They survived the scare, Schalke. Now is there a counter on, I wonder? Just outnumbered. But they can still maybe make something work here. Juventus have shirts back now, but we know how good Schalke have been so far. Surely next goal wins now.
Plays it in. Real chance here. El Matador. It's smuggled wide of the target. It looked like the net was about to bustle, and then I think it's just come off the studs of the defender and trickled wide for a corner. Wow, wow, wow. The drama intensifies.
I couldn't believe it. Had his hands on his face for a good 20 seconds there.
Out towards the edge of the area. Played back in. Turned by Merriman. Across the face. Irma on the left foot. Oh, he just couldn't quite turn it home. And you might not be able to see us on the stream, but me and Harry have spent the majority of this second match with our hands on our heads, because the drama has been excruciating at times. And we are not done yet, ladies and gents. We still have 3 minutes in this match, and then a possible 5-minute playoff match, which will basically feel like a golden goal moment almost, as the ball gets played in towards a penalty spot. Can they grab a winner right at the death? Juventus now can't quite get out. Anywhere will do. Both sides possibly settling for the extra 5-minute match. Or are they?
Good foul.
Oh dear. Could be a second yellow.
Great foul from Merriman. You got to do that. You got to put the ball out of play, essentially. Yes, you get the man sent off, but Juventus were looking so dangerous there. Stop the play, get your defence organised. Yes, Juve will have one more roll of the dice from this free kick, but they looked very shaky at the back there, Schalke, so well done by Merriman. They just need to survive this next scare.
And that is a very crucial statement. They just need to survive. And I think it's a case of hold your breath. If you're a Schalke fan, hold your breath, because Juventus have a set piece to win this game and send the Italian giants into the final. And that would be utter heartbreak for Schalke.
Well, what's fascinating here, Schalke aren't replacing the man who was sent off. They've gone for a 3 at the back instead, and they're setting up for a counter here. They think Juventus will fluff this free kick, and they're banking on going up the other end. Oh, in fact, no, they've decided now to actually swap the defensive midfielder. Yeah, they've decided to supplement that back 3 with an extra player back there. So I think that's the wise thing to do. You still have a chance on the counter, of course, but you need as many defenders back there as possible.
So as things stand, we have one chance remaining for a winner, and it rests in the hands of Juventus. And Eterito, he goes short. It's lost Scandalo. He turns onto his left foot. Surely has to get the shot away. Great defending from Merriman. Still into the danger area. Headed away again. All hands on deck for Schalke. Desperately smashing the ball away. It's finished 2-1 to Schalke. 4-4 on aggregate. And we are headed for a 5-minute playoff match. And Harry, it could be penalties. You never know. Can you handle another 5 minutes of this tension?
I certainly can't. My heart cannot. But tell you what, Eterito, Il Distruttore, Lo Scandalo, El Matador, Merriman, Irma, all of you should be taking a bow right now, because this is just a performance for the ages in the semi-final here. We still have another semi-final to come, of course, but Schalke, the way they came out of the blocks with such belief in that second game was what really set us up for this potential fairy tale finish for them. Obviously, we still have to check in with our referees to make sure the competitive integrity is all sound, but what a game. What a game.
Yeah, one thing I would like to point out here, we made many a reference to the brilliance of Schalke from a mentality point of view, dragging themselves back into the match. But spare a thought, Harry, for Eterito. The chance looked like it might be ebbing away for Juventus. and he's been very, very, not necessarily off the boil, but he's certainly not been on top of his game today. And then he had one chance in this whole almost 2-game span, and he popped up and he was absolutely ice cool, showing the class that he has to drag Juventus level right when he needed to. And this is that moment, outside of the right boot. Thank you very much.
Look at the angle too. The pure passion shown by the Juve captain. From that kind of angle, so difficult. And yeah, we had a nervy finish, but well, if you thought that was nervy, wait until you see the extra time game with yet to come if the result stands, because, just look at the response from Roma. I mean, he stayed like this for a good 20 seconds afterwards when that chance just trickled past the post. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Just enjoying a brief moment of silence, Harry, after all of that drama.
I think you deserve it, to be honest, after the games we just watched.
I mean, commentating over games that include 8 goals is something that's incredibly special, but certainly taxing on the system. But it's good fun. I mean, what a day we've had so far today, and the drama is probably only halfway there.
Yeah, probably. I mean, after this, we have the other semi-final still to come. The battle of the ASs. It's Roma versus Monaco for a chance to match up against one of these 2 clubs in the final, and of course to take home the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ trophy, which every club here wants. And then even the losers of the semi-finals aren't done. They still have the 3rd place playoff match for a chance at extra prize money with their finishing position here in the knockout stages. Still to come as well. Just unbelievable. I
think both of us predicted Juventus Monaco to reach the final today. It'll be very interesting to see a possible dark horse final of Schalke and AS Roma, which would also be, well, incredibly entertaining, no doubt, and that could definitely happen. So yeah, lots still to be decided today, of course, and we have had the confirmation that the checks made were in the yes category, which means we can continue with the next game, which is kind of a yes moment, Harry, so that we all of that drama didn't go to waste.
Yeah, just quickly take a look at the differing body languages between the two. All smiles, all laughs, all relaxing on the Schalke side.
Juventus look beaten, don't they?
This wasn't how the story was supposed to go. They were supposed to have a bye to the semi-final, go up against either a Barcelona or Schalke team that they should have breezed past, and they were champions-elect. This all of a sudden becomes a much more complicated story, one that may need several rewrites on the Juventus side.
I mean, I did say at the start that it'd be interesting to see how Juventus would perform based on the fact that they had no warm-up game almost going into this. They were cold into it, and yes, they're professional. They've been on this stage many, many times, but there must be an element that playing a game first, it changes you one way or the other. Schalke, of course, got through their task against Barcelona. They looked very, very good, especially in that first game. That must have bred confidence in the camp today, and they were almost like a well-oiled machine, and Juventus were possibly caught a little bit cold on the day. But you never know. We still have this game, possible penalties. They could still get through easy, and then we'll focus on the final for them. But they have to get through. And it's a very, very difficult task now against a Schalke team that have been on pretty good form today.
Yeah, they've settled into the competition, and that's the thing that certainly a quarter-final game before your semi-final helps. You get to settle in, you get to hit the ground running in this semi-final. But for those who are just joining us, we've played the 2 games of the semi-final. The aggregate score was level, so now we go to a full match, which will only last 5 minutes, no extra time. If we're level at the end of the 90, we go straight to penalties. I mean, what could you ask for?
We have seen almost, in fact, I was going to say we've seen almost everything. We've definitely seen everything. We've seen goals, we've seen red cards, we've seen a penalty.
Back heel goals.
We've seen it all today. We've seen a questionable on-the-line goal. We've seen a ricochet off the goalkeeper goal. We've seen, the back heel, no-look, David Luiz finish.
Yeah.
We've seen it all. So, just to clarify, this is a 5-minute standalone match where a winner must be decided. If there is no winner, it goes to a penalty shootout. No extra time. This is the equivalent of extra time. There will be 5 in-game minutes, and Juventus have started on the front foot. Harry wanted penalties at the start of today. He may just get them here if the scores are level after the 5 in-game minutes, which is, of course, 90 on your screen. And we are 13 minutes of the way through.
It'll be interesting to see how both teams set up with this kind of reduced timer of the match. Unbelievable save by Roma there. Juventus having the first real chance, but with this reduced time, do you still play the same way you'd play in a 10-minute match, in a regular timed match? Do you maybe go a bit more gung-ho? Do you take less risks, more risks? We'll see. But Juve had a real chance to open the scoring.
I think Juventus are looking to get this game done before penalties. I don't think they'll be happy going into a lottery against Schalke on penalties. On the flip side, I think Schalke would fancy their chances in a penalty shootout, just from a mentality point of view. Because Juventus really felt at 3-0 up, they were already there. So anything's a bonus really for Schalke at this point. And we are halfway through the first half here in this 5-minute, almost golden goal third match. Not golden goal, of course, because we can see as many goals, but it is very, very difficult to see more than one in the allotted time as we tick towards the end of the first half already. And it is Bentaleb who plays it through, a chance for Hot, but it's straight through to the goalkeeper.
And it's worth remembering, of course, although it's a 5-minute game, the stamina degradation. The stamina still ticks down at the same rate as it would in a normal match. So once we approach the end of the first half, the end of the second half, the players likely will be low on stamina, so that will play a factor. You have to think about substitutes as well. Otherwise, we're going to penalties if it is level.
Well, we are ticking towards the end of the first half here. And it's a real chance for Schalke. Chips the goalkeeper. Just couldn't quite get enough on it. And that might be the last attack of this rapid first half. Headed up towards a halfway line.
Nice idea from Roma, but I think the better opportunity there was maybe trying to square it back across goal.
Both teams know now a goal conceded might be curtains for their tournament as a whole. And it's half-time in the third match playoff game. And we're all square. And we are now just 2.5 minutes real time, 45 minutes in-game from the drama of the spot kicks.
And of course, we'll have to wait and see who steps up in the penalties, who's taking them, who's saving them, of course.
Chiellini with a good clearance downfield. Il Distatore feeds it to Etorito. .55 minutes on the clock. Still no goal in this third game, 5-minute playoff match. 4-4 on aggregate. A goal for either side now. You would feel might surely be the winner It's Juventus that have got the chance. Slid in. Goalkeeper's made the save. Turned home by Juventus. Relief there, Torito. Lo Scandalo and Il Distruttore. Heartbreak for Schalke. They are now just a minute or so away, real time, of crashing out of the competition after all the work they've put in.
And it's the captain, Torito, to step up once more to dig Juventus out of a hole here in the extra time game. Half an hour on the clock, still to be ticked down. But that, of course, is very, very little in terms of real-world time. And look at the response from both sides. Schalke shoving players up the pitch. Juventus pulling players back.
The opposites there of the formations.
Is the fairy tale coming to a very, very abrupt end here for Schalke, or is there one final twist? Could you imagine?
It was a really scrappy goal in the end for Juventus, but they will not care one iota. And as you said, Harry, Torito yet again producing when it really matters. Yes, it wasn't the most beautiful goal, but it was a difficult take from a tight angle, and he delivered the killer touch. And, well, it's not often you see a 9-1 formation in any walk of football. But that is what we see right now.
It's tough, but I think when Schalke watch the goal back, they'll realise they just didn't have anyone taking the ball away from goal. It's all well and good clearing the ball up the pitch, but when you've got Juventus players sat there waiting to receive, and the Juventus players still pushed up the pitch, you're always inviting that pressure back on your back line. So you've got to have someone willing to take the ball up the pitch, and they just lack that there.
Però poi, se dovesse fare 1-1, Quadrado due Mamet. Qual è il problema, capì?
Quindi metti Marquez.
Marquez. E poi due Mamet.
Ti ho detto, mettilo punta Marquez.
Ah, qua, sì, va. Ronaldo CC
esatto. No. Oh.
Occhio alla prima, se c'è da fare il fallo si fa fallo. Dai, calma.
10 secondi.
Tutti dietro. Sì, calma, 60esimo.
Well, if Juventus do get to a final, we said that they haven't really had a warm-up for this game. They've certainly had a warm-up for that final if they get there, because Schalke have taken them all the way today. But can they stop them right at the death? 25 in-game minutes remaining. Langer, long ball up towards the halfway line. It's going to be all Schalke in the remaining stages, with the 9 players back for Juventus. Can they stop Schalke? Great block coming in. Surely the goalkeeper's missed it, and Schalke have scored.
Alles rückgängig.
They've levelled against Juventus, who had 9 players back behind the ball. And they've somehow smuggled it home. I don't think I've seen anything like it.
Unbelievable. It is chaos at the back for Juve. The goalkeeper makes a huge hash of it. Szczesny goes over the ball, and it's Irma who smuggles it across the line. Despite the siege mentality from Juventus, they tried having as many men behind the ball as possible. It did not work. And the fairy tale continues for Schalke. They're still alive here in the semi-final.
3-0 down Back to 3-3. 4-3 in
Lass
front.
doch so. Das
Back to
soll-
4-4.
soll das jetzt?
5-4 behind. Back to 5-5.
Junge, Tor machen,
unreal.
fertig.
What more can you say? Hats off to both of these two sets of players because they have been absolutely incredible today. The drama they've given us is undeniable. But the question is now, who wants it more? The delight on Merriman's face there as the ball trickled over the line. Irma's been credited with the goal. It could have been just about anyone. All three Schalke players were in there trying to poke it home. The goalkeeper had a hand in it as well. It
Surely
somehow
not.
went under him. But they're in again here. Surely not a winner. Wow. Gonna have to check my heart rate after this one. Just 5 in-game minutes now away from penalties. 5-5 on aggregate, but Juventus could win it again, surely. Great defending there from El Matador to deny Lo Scandalo. And just when you think the game is sewn up, there's another chance. Is that a corner? No, it's been given as a goal kick, and that might be the last attack of the match. We're deep into added on time. The fourth official says 3 minutes. It's now or never for a winner. And it's going to be, surely now, penalties.
Unless.
We're over the allotted 3 minutes, but the referee continues to allow play to continue to complete the final attack of the match. And they've gone and stolen it. Right to the death with the last kick of the match. Sheer heartbreak for Schalke 04. You have to feel for them. But Juventus have stolen victory from the jaws of a penalty shootout. The composure on the header was incredible, and I think, is it that man again, Harry?
Who
is
else?
it that man again? Who else but one of the greatest players this game has ever seen, Mr. Etorito.
Well, last kick of the game. Last head of the game too. That will do it. Juventus, they will advance to the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ final with the final touch of the match. The final touch. Just when you thought it was going to penalties, that throw-in always spelled danger. And there were just no defenders tight enough to Etorito. He rose the highest. He wanted it more. And the header in off the post. Unbelievable.
Okay, all to the home screen.
I think my vocal cords have taken a real battering in that one. But it was just truly incredible to watch and be a part of.
I just look
What
at
more
these
can you
games.
say?
Look at these
What
games.
more can you say?
3-2, 2-1.